ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या योगविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ॐ शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। ॐ समस्तब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो योगविद्याचार्येभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः। परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे नमः। आदौ गुरुस्मरणम्। ॐ हिरण्यगर्भाय कपिलमहर्षये नमः। 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 ॐ पतञ्जलिमहर्षये 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 नमः। ॐ व्यासमहर्षये 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 नमः। ॐ अथ श्रीपतञ्जलिमहर्षिप्रणीत योगदर्शनशास्त्रम् अथ प्रथमः पादः समाधिपादः त्रीणि सूत्राणि। ॐ अथ योगानुशासनम्। ॐ अथ योगानुशासनम्। ॐ अथ योगानुशासनम्। योगः चित्तवृत्तिनिरोधः। योगः चित्तवृत्तिनिरोधः। योगः चित्तवृत्तिनिरोधः। तदा द्रष्टुः स्वरूपे अवस्थानं। तदा द्रष्टुः स्वरूपे अवस्थानं। तदा द्रष्टुः स्वरूपे अवस्थानं। This third sutra we started to understand with every word of Bhashya. First again, in that half minute, read out the Bhashya, then one by one word we try to analyze. In that analysis only, we try to understand, we get the understanding of what both the Sutrakara meant, so to the Bhashyakara. So the Bhashyakara, Vyasa Bhagavan, introductory Bhashyam to this third sutra. After the second sutra is over. What is second? Yogaha Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Then Tadadrashtu Swarupe Avasthanam is the third sutra. So he is bringing the connection by putting as if a question. That each word we have to understand. Then the mantra, the sutra, then the sutra's bhashyam. He says, his introductory bhashyam, tad avaste chetasi, when the chitta has reached to that avastha. Which avastha? Naturally, what avastha said in the earlier sutra in its bhashya. In the earlier sutra, what is said? Yoga chitta vritti nirodha. So, chitta, when it has gone to the nirodha avastha. That's the meaning of tadavaste chetasi. Vishaya abhavat. Because all the vritti nirodha happened, then there is no vishayas. For the Purusha, be attentive to become Vishayi, to know the Chitta, Vrutthis, which happens generally in the Vyutthana Sthiti. In that avastha, you have done the Nirodha of all the Vrutthis. Vrutthis are the Vishaya for him. There are no Vishayas, therefore Vishaya Bhavat. What happens to this Purusha? Who is that Purusha? Who is in general Buddhi Bodha Atma. The Purusha is Atma, but not a pure Atma, but Bodhatma. Bodha means awareness or knowledge or understanding or knowing it. And what he is to know? Buddhi. Buddhi is chitta. So चित्त वृत्तियों को हमेशा इल्यूमिन करने वाला पुरुष, जब वृत्तियों का निरोध होने से, इल्यूमिनेट करने के लिए विषयों का अभाव होने से, विषय मीन्स ऑब्जेक्ट फॉर द कॉन्शियसनेस, द वृत्तिस आर द विषय फॉर इट टू इल्यूमिनेट. In the nirodha avastha, they all have gone away. Then Purusha kim svabhavaha? What is his position? Iti prashna. What is the uttaram? Tada. The mantra gives the uttaram. The sutra. Drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam. The drashta at that time is establishing in his own swarupa. See? Tada jivaha swarupe avasthanam is not said. That is a beauty here in this sutra. Drashtuhu means what? He never became jiva. He was always drashta only. But because of inability to have the viveka khyati, he gets identified and lives like a jiva, suffering all through. Just because he suffered, because I suffered in the dream, I have not lost my wakerhood and become a dreamer permanently. But because of the conditions both of a rejection of the waker mind and acceptance of the waker with dream world, that the dreamer, me as if real, dream experiences as if real, I went through, but it is not real. That is why ध्यान से देखना, अनुभव है तो सत्य होना जरूरी नहीं है, which we studied exhaustively in Vedanta. इसी तरह if अनुभव नहीं हुआ उपाधियों के लेवल में, असत्य है ऐसा भी नहीं मानना. Like sun rises, it is an anubhava but not satya. The sky is blue, it's an anubhava but not satya. So all the things are going back when you are in the train, but it is not satya. You can see that pillar who was in front of you going, you see, लगता है कि pillar ही जा रहा है. So anything experienced need not be true. So the jiva bhava is not true. So drashta, he when had the Vrutthis in the Utthana avastha, he was illuminating them. Only illuminator when the Viveka Khyati Chitta was there. Then Viveka Khyati also was not there. In the illumination, he was identifying. This will be told in the next sutra actually. But when the Vritti Nirodha happened, which is our goal, what happens to this Purusha? That Purusha who is a Drashta, who was becoming a Jiva by identifying, is no more Jiva, is a Drashta. That Drashta, Swarupe Avasthanam. He established in his Swarupa. He is stationed in Swarupa. It doesn't go out. Like when I car mein baitu, so I become a driver. So through the car and driving activity, I became the driver, identified with that. When I park the car back home, inside the house, I am not any car now. I have a Swarupa Avasthan. With regard to the driverhood, I may do something else, it's okay. So, that chitta in that avastha mein hai, to Purush ka kya hal hoga? He is in establishing his own Swarupa. But all the words have to be explained. We will see. Now, the Bhashyakara's explanation to this. Then again from the beginning, we will see today. Spend this today for this sutram. Then, to this sutra, Tada Drashtuhu Swarupe Avasthanam, the Bhashyakara's Bhashya is ki Swarupa Pratishtha Tadanim Chiti Shaktihi. Swarupa Pratishtha Tadanim, at that time, Chiti Shaktihi, the Chaitanya Paramatma, it is not becoming illuminator of anything because there is nothing to illuminate. Therefore, what is happening? It is said to be Swarupa Pratishtha, established in its own self. Yatha Kaivalye, this is called as Kaivalya Sthiti. Kevala Sthiti. Kevala is Vijatiya, Sajatiya, Swagata Bheda Rahita Sthiti. Contrast to that, Vitthana Chitte Sati. When again from the Niruddha Avastha, Chitta Vrittis have become Vyuttana, Tathapi, even then also, Drashta is in his own Swarupa because he cannot change. But na tatha bhavanti na tatha. But then, unfortunately, this doesn't be felt by us. At the Utthana Sthiti of the Vritti, The Chiti Shakti is in Chiti Shakti only in its own Swarupa. That Bhanam, that Anubhuti doesn't come to us. That is why the need of the Nirodha of the Vritti to experience the self and stay in that experience only. If the Vritti Nirodha is gone and Vritti Utthana has happens, immediately, helplessly, as if the Chiti Shakti never becomes that, but as if gets identified. Like if you put on the TV, you tend like looking at it. If you don't put on, you don't see. While looking at the TV, also you are only onlooker, untouched by it. But putting on the TV tempts you as if to see it. In the same way, Utthana Kala mein bhi Chitti Shakti is not perturbed or disturbed, but not recognized like that. Who is that Chitti Shakti then? It is me. Means what? I in Nirodha Avastha establish in myself, but when the Utthana of the Chitta happens, Utthana means disturbance of the Chitta from its Apya Avastha, because of the three gunas into Jagra Sapna Sushupti, somehow as if the Purusha is not there, is not recognized only. That's what we are doing. Purusha never gone away, he is always there. But he is not recognized because of the Vritti Vyutthanam. That's why the need of the Nirodha. Then only we establish in the Chitti Shakti. So this is what is Bhashakara's thing. Now one by one we see. Ki tad avaste chetasi means what? Tad avaste chetasi means ki tada tat asampragnata kale. That chetas is asampragnata yoga kala. Before the asampragnata yoga, what was there? Yesterday we saw Viveka Khyati. What is that which makes Viveka Khyati into Asampragnata? After Viveka Khyati, when the Chiti Shakti, the Sattva and Purusha are understood to be different, the Sattva is rejected by Neti Neti. Sattva is not Sattva Guna here. Sattva here is the thoughts, the Vrutthis, the Chitta. When these two are separated, then the thoughts or the Vrutthis or Chitta is said to be मॉडिफाइंग जड़ा बाइंडिंग दफा नेति नेति करके उसका रिजेक्शन होता है. When the rejection of all vrittis happened, that itself is called as nirbija samadhi, that itself is called as asampragnata yoga. So the viveka khyati ke baad we are able to do the rejection of the sattva or the vrittis and enter into the asampragnata. What took us to the viveka khyati? Sampragnata yoga. What is sampragnata? Without identifying, you are becoming very clearly aware of the vrittis. You are only an onlooker, like sakshi bhava. When are we able to do that sakshi bhava? When we are in ekagra bhumika. In the other three bhumikas, the chitta is either in nidra, not thinking, contemplating, or kshipta and vikshipta to the dharma, vairagya, aishwarya or outer things of the world. Focus is not on the self. When the chitta is perturbed by the rajas and tamas. So ekagra chitta leads to sampragnata samadhi. Sampragnata samadhi gives a chance for viveka khyati. Viveka khyati makes us reject, gives a chance to reject by neti neti all that sattva or the vrittis. In that final rejection, every vritti with its cause goes away, called as nirodha. That nirodha is called as asampragnata yoga. Remember, while doing all this, you have not come to the purusha still. These are all happening at the chitta level only. And then for the question asked. In this way, through ekagra bhumi, through the sampragnata samadhi, through the viveka khyati, through asampragnata yoga, when all the vrittis are rejected, when there is nothing for the purusha to illuminate, what is his avastha? See the question there? So too, when the vrittis are there, what is his avastha? Purusha. So here we have seen one word, ki chetasi tadavaste. Point 1, Bhashyakarka. Second, tad vishaya abhavat. Now here what is added in our further explanation is not only the Vrutthis of the chitta are the Vishayas for Chaitanya Paramatma, but the Viveka Khyati we have done, no, which is also a Sattva Guni Vritti, which is also thought, where we are able to separate Chitta ye hai, Vrittiya Chitta or ye hai Chiti or Purush. We have not discovered Purusha nor merged in Purusha, but an understanding is there, a Vritti is there, कि पुरुष अलग है जानने वाला, चित्त अलग है जिसको जानते हैं. But this also is a Vritti. Therefore, only to this Viveka Khyati only, after it does the job of separating the Sattva from the Purusha, that we have Vairagya for this Viveka Khyati also, then only we will enter into the next stage. Therefore, from the standpoint of this Purusha, even the Viveka Khyati also is a Vishaya. That Viveka Khyati Rupa Vishaya, which is a Vritti, which is separating in the understanding the Vrittis as well as the Purusha, that also is Vishaya. Therefore, Vishaya Bhavat means neither the Vrittis are there nor even Viveka Khyati Rupi Vritti also is there. That is the meaning of Vishaya Bhavat. So, this Vishaya Bhavata is the explanation of or the introduction of the Vyasa Bhagavad. तो व्यास भगवान ने अपने इस सूत्र के इंट्रोडक्शन में क्या कहा, उसका हम वी आर ट्राइंग टू एनालाइज एंड अंडरस्टैंडिंग. एंड व्हाइल अंडरस्टैंडिंग वी आर सीइंग दैट स्टेट इन आवर ओन हार्ट, इन आवर ओन चित्त. सो तद अवस्थे चेतसी मीन्स निर्बीजा अवस्थे चेतसी और वृत्ति निरोधे चेतसी. विषयाभावात, विषया शब्द वृत्ति इज आल्सो नॉट देयर, अभाव, देन उस वृत्तियों से चिति को सेपरेट करने वाला द सात्विक वृत्ति वाला, even Viveka Khyati also it Vairagya rejected. That's the meaning of Tadavaste Chetasi Vishaya Bhavat. उस अवस्था में जहाँ विषय नहीं है, विषयों में even Viveka Khyati also is a Vishaya, उसका भी अभाव है, उसकी भी जरूरत नहीं है. It has fulfilled its purpose. Vishaya Abhavatu. Then now the word we have to explain is what? Buddhi Bodha Atma. What is Buddhi Bodha Atma? In the introduction कि बुद्धि बोध आत्मा, that self who was having the bodha of the buddhi vrittis before that, then kim svabhavaha, what is his svabhava? That's the question. Answer is tada drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam. This we have to know. Tada means what? कि असंप्रज्ञात काले. Drashtuhu means what? Chiti Shakti. Chiti Shakti. Shashti Vivakti. Purushasya. That Purusha who is of Chiti Shakti at that condition of the Nirbija Avastha where the Vrutthis are totally rejected along with Viveka Khyati Vritti. Ki Purushasya Swarupe. What is Swarupa? Listen. Nirvishaya Chaitanya Matre Avasthanam Ityartaha. So, in that Nirvishaya Chaitanya Sarupa, the Purusha, the Drashta, establishes in himself. Nirvishaya Chaitanya Sarupe Pratishta is called as Swarupe Pratishta. Purusha, Vishaya Abhave. So, tada asampragnata kale drashtuhu chiti shaktehe purushasya swarupe nirvishaya chaitanya matre avasthanam ityartaha. So, this is how called as the word used by him as Swarupa Pratishta. So, tada drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam is sutra. Swarupa Pratishta is the explanation given by Bhashyakara. Uska arth kya hai? In that nirvishaya Chaitanya. So, the Chaitanya, when it is aware of the Vrutthis, it is Vyutthana Kala. But the Vritti Nirodha ho gaya, then the Vishayas are not there for the Chaitanya to eliminate. Therefore, this Purusha gets established in his own Nirvishaya Swarupa Chiti Shakti. That we have to know. So, Swarupa Pratishta isko kehte hain. Then, Yatha Kaivalya it is said. What is Kaivalya? Kaivalya, as we said, where none of the Vijatiya, Sajatiya, Swagata, Bheda or the Vruttis are there. That's called as Kaivalya Sthiti. Now the most important thing is what? Vyutthana chitte tu sati tathapi bhavati na tatha. Means what? Ki, न जातु कूटस्थ नित्या चिति शक्ति ही स्वरूपाच्यवते तेन यथा निरोधे तथा एव व्युत्थाने अपि. सी द चैतन्य परमात्मा इज कूटस्थ चैतन्य, कूटस्थ नित्य कहते हैं उसको. मीन्स वन, इट नेवर फॉल्स फ्रॉम इट्स ओन चैतन्य चिति शक्ति, दिस पुरुष. Therefore, व्युत्थान हो गया वृत्तियों का. That time the चिति शक्ति has not lost its original status. It is always the same. तेना यथा निरोधे तथा एवं व्युत्थाने अपि. निरोध अवस्था में चैतन्य का जो स्वरूप है पुरुष का, वो बिगड़ता नहीं है इवन व्युत्थान काल. बट द प्रॉब्लम इज व्हाट? न तथा भवति. It doesn't, is not recognized like that. Understood? The difference is what? It has not fallen to the level of any, it is remaining its own state, but in that way it is not recognized because the Vrutthis doesn't allow us to recognize it. It doesn't change. Like when the clouds came, Surya is not changed. But the clouds never allow us to see the sun as he is. There's the only difference. So the Vrutthis are of the clouds. Swarupa is Atma Vastu is Surya. Because of the clouds, Vrutthis came. The Surya did not change, but was not available for perception or seeing or experiencing. That's why in the waking plane, Vitthana Kala, we are only in the world recognizing it, not the self. So, Tatha Bhavati na Bhavanti cha. Even in Vyutthana, because the Chiti Swarupa is Kutastha Nityata hai Chiti Shakti, therefore it will never fall from it. Chavanam. Therefore, Nirodh may be वैसा ही रहता है, but only it's not recognized. So, tada drashtuh swarupe avasthanam iti. This sentence, the third sutra, Vakshamana sutra sahityena eva asya lakshanatvat. You have to study it in connection with the next sutra, then the subject becomes complete. See, tathacha drashtu swarupa avasthiti hetuhu chitta vritti nirodha क्षिप्तादि अवस्थासु न अस्ति इति न अतिव्याप्तिः संप्रज्ञातस्य च स्वरूपावस्थिति हेतुत्वम् असंप्रज्ञात द्वारा अस्ति एव इति. So then when the Vritthana avastha has happened, what exactly means what? When the nirodha of the chitta is done, the Swarupa avastha हुआ. चित्त का वृत्ति का निरोध नहीं हुआ, तो what happens to Purusha? Though he doesn't change, that comes in the next Darshita Vishayatvat. We have already seen in that Chiti Shakti's definition in the third one. Chiti Shakti hi aparinamini aprasankyeya Darshita Vishaya Shuddha cha Ananta cha. Therefore, in the Vyutthana Kala, what happens is said here. Vrittisarupyam itaratra Vrittisarupyam itaratra Vrittisarupyam itaratra means what? The Chitti Shakti, even though he is same all the time by his own essential self, at the Vyutthana Kala, it as if takes the garbs of the Vritti, therefore it is hidden from my own experience to me. So I am there, my own conscious self is there, the Chitta with Vrittis are there. When the Chitta with Vrittis are not there, I am my own established in my own Chitti Shakti. But when the Vrittis come with Thana, as if I see myself through the Vritti, not the pure. That is called as Tada Vritti Sarupyam Itaratra. This is the fourth one. So what is the Svarupa Sarupyata with the Vrittis? Therefore, how we become Jiva or Samsari? Therefore, the need of this Vritti Nirodha followed by Asampragnata Yoga, followed by the Sarupa Avasthanam. Little bit we have to discuss. To see that, we will come tomorrow. So in our tomorrow's class, all these four sutras, Yoga, Atha Yoga Anushasanam, Yoga, Chitta Vritti Nirodha, Tada Drashtuh Swarupe Avasthanam, Vritti Sarupyam Itaratra. These four, using the technical terms, we will clearly explain. Then the conviction is, I have to establish in my Swarupa. For that, the Vritti Nirodha has to be done. Then which are the Vrittis whose Nirodha has to be done? That will be explained. These are all Siddhanta. Only when we Siddhanta digest karte hain in our understanding, then with that knowledge, Siddhanta clearly understood on the Dhyana Avastha, we follow all this. Then we can really see. And for some lives, it takes for us to come to Ekagra Bhumika only. Yeah. Thereafter only, we can, with lot of practice, come bring our chitta to the Samprajnata Samadhi Sthiti. After maintaining it for a long time only, the Viveka Khyati is born. After the Viveka Khyati only, the Asampragnata Yoga is done. Where? Through the Viveka Khyati, the differentiated Chitta from the self is rejected, the Chitta. After that, Asampragnata Yoga, Nirbija Yoga, for the Purusha, there is nothing to illuminate the Buddhivadatma. Therefore, he just establishes his own self. So, how practical, how systematic is this thing of yoga, which is talking about our own chitta, which we are remembering or experiencing all the time. Okay, then where we have to start from, where do we go wrong is in the first two, three bhumikas only. We said it yesterday, we said it day before. Today also we are saying as long as we are in Kshipta Muda Vikshipta Bhumika of the Chitta, we can never be spiritual seekers at all, how much ever we struggle. ये take it for granted. कुछ भी करो, हमको आगे वाले साधनाएं impossible होते हैं if we are in the first three bhumikas. Therefore, come what may, you have to come to Ekagra Bhumika. Like come what may, you have to gain the sadhana chatushtaya sampada. Then only the Shravanam Mananam becomes Arthavanta, meaningful, Phalavanta, fruitful. Meaningfully we can understand Vedanta. Fruitfully we can meditate and realize the Brahman. Only the Viveka Vairagya, Samadhi, Shatka Sampada and Mumukshata. These Chatushtaya Sampada is there with us, not otherwise. In the same way, only when we come to the Ekagra Bhumi, that we will be able to do all these sadhanas step by step, which are said so far. And all of them reaching to Swarupa Pratishtanam. Therefore, Swarupa Pratishtanam is the goal. Chitta Vritti Nirodha Rupa Yoga or Samadhi is the means. So, if that Chitta Vritti is not done, Chitta Vyatthana is there, that time Vritti Sarupya Hokar, the Purusha instead of remaining in the Mukta Avastha becomes Jiva to suffer. Therefore, be aware of your chitta, recognize variety of the vrittis, and use the yoga sadhanas which will be told in the future, keeping in mind the only purpose of removing the chitta vrittis, doing the nirodha of the vrittis, so that the drashta, I, swarupa avasthanam, establish in myself. That's how, step by step, when each of the sutra is developed, the topic starts becoming more conspicuous and clear. And we'll discuss in that way only, elaborately, not to miss anything. We'll ensure that intellectual understanding is clear. Sadhana and siddhi is each individual, it depends on their efforts. Okay. Thank you. Continue tomorrow. Om